Hey there, traders. Welcome back to another daily recap. We're looking at trades in the S&P 500 E-mini futures that are based off of levels of support and resistance in the SPY. I'm Sam Morton, and today is July 24, 2024. It's about 14 minutes after 8 a.m. Eastern currently. The opening bell is in more than an hour from now, but from what we're seeing in the pre-market, the SPY is poised to gap lower at the open. They've been hanging around 550 for a while and getting a little lower at times. Where they open in about an hour and a half or so could be somewhere else, of course, but that doesn't really matter to us. We have these levels identified already, and we'll use them as our baselines for entering trades in the E-mini futures today. The dashed levels right here indicate a zone. Depending on where price is after 9:45 a.m. Eastern, will determine how I treat this area. Also, at 9:45 a.m., there is a PMI data release. So that news could move the market. It will be good to be aware of price is at 9:45 in relation to these levels. If price gets below this zone, I don't have any levels that I trust down here until they get down to 543.93 in that area. After the market closes this afternoon, we'll come back to this same chart and we'll talk about any trades that may have resulted from these levels of support and resistance. Catch you then. It's now 7 o'clock. Market closed a few hours ago, and they dropped, obvious now, 125 or so S&P points from yesterday's close to today's close. Wouldn't it have been cool if you could have ridden a lot of this down? Well, there's no reason you couldn't have. So I mentioned this morning that whatever was going on at 9:45, depending on how they came into this zone, if they were going to come into the zone, and also after the 9:45 PMI data announcement, I would make a decision of what to do to this level. Well, so the idea is, if they were to open above and come down into this zone, say they open up here somewhere, well, anywhere in this area it would be valid for a long trade, a bounce area. But they opened toward the top and immediately dropped down 9:45. They were right underneath it. So at this point, according to the dictates of the rules that I've developed, you would be ready to go short at this level. If you wanted to start selling here, maybe sell higher if they went up, because they got underneath this. They were weak. What I did is just gave this some time. I wanted to see what happened after 9:45. They went up a little bit, but above this level, this doesn't look like a whole much, but there's a lot of points in here just because this is so spread out from high to low. And I jumped on board, went short, and I said also I had nothing in between until this level down here. So I just rode this down quite a bit. I did the prudent thing, jumped out, got part of the position off. I'll just show it to you. But the point is, this was basically foretold this morning. And then when they got down to this level, bounced. They just hung out at this level. So, and nothing below it. I mean, I didn't need it at this point. I had a pretty good run, almost 20 points, which I'll take. Here is the trade as it happened. So you can see it's 9:52. I'd already waited for 9:45 to that candle to close. See what happens after that little news release, the data release with PMI, as I mentioned. And when I saw what was going on, it's like, okay, they're under this entire zone. This is an important area, by the way. And if they couldn't sustain any type of closes within or above this thing, then it didn't look very strong. So I went short. So I was already in it. Sold two. This general area as they started dropping. And I had my sights down here. I figured, well, just to start off with, let's see how far they go. And I'll start playing this. And you'll see that I kind of change this up a little bit. The idea was just to get out before this level here. Would I buy down at this level again after a run like this with one trade? I don't know. Probably not. But I let them come down for a ways. And it takes some time. So I'll just speed this up. And when they looked like they were going to consolidate a little bit, because I really didn't know if they were going to, find some type of support in here and bounce. So I took one off. Right, okay, let me back up. Took one off. Happens really fast here, which is basically half of my position right there. So $1,100, and put a trailer on right there. It is, and I'm kind of looking at it, and the reason everything disappears right there is like, well, I just closed it right there. Thought, well, what if they do go up here? I'm going to take at least the $850 whatever dollars I had at that point, instead of letting them come all the way back up and stopping me out. I've seen that happen a lot. But really, my sights were all the way down here, and they did that, of course, as you've already seen. But I was out of the trade at that point, $1,925 or so. Okay, this is with it adjusted. Let me just back up so you can see. Here we go. So there, I just moved this chart up, and first time they hit it, they bounce. So this is a trade right here, by the way. If you were to play it by the rules, this is counted as a trade. Perfect. Perfect trade. Let's look at it one more time, just so you can see a visual here. A little green circle indicates the short trade right after 9:45, all the way down to the first time they hit this level. It's been adjusted to 543.98, and that's a long trade for a bounce there of quite a bit. Let's see, 543.98. They went as high as roughly 544.90, somewhere in that neighborhood. So that's almost a dollar bounce. That's 9-10 points or something like that. Pretty good day. Over here on the tracking log, the SPY tracker is what I call the playing by the rules, just treating each level under a set of rules and guidelines, 2 base hits. In that order, 8 points, nothing wrong with that. I just traded the one trade, you saw it, and it was 19.5 points total with what I did. So $19.25, $1,900 on 25 before commissions. So that's pretty much it for today. Thanks for tuning in. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. You'll keep getting these recap videos every day. This might not be the most glamorous and exciting channel in the world, but I just treat it like a process, and I want to share it with you, and it's how you make money in the long term. Pretty good daily averages. We will be back at it tomorrow with fresh levels, ready to go before the opening bell. Thank you, and have a great rest of your day.